And the show, which he wrote and produced, officially opens this Sunday. Berry Gordy, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
I have heard you say that at 83, this is probably your last project. Number one, I don't believe you about that. But you've also said that you weren't happy with the way your story's been told in the past, and you wanted to tell your story your way. What do you want us to know about you and about Motown back in the day?
Well, just what it was, I mean, not only what we did, but how we did it and why we did it and all that, And we were so fortunate to come along in a time when so much was happening, in the 60s, and we were just blessed. And so we're telling the story the way it was.
You said an assembly line. What does that mean? You ran Motown like an assembly line.
Well, I worked at a factory, a Ford Motor Company, and I worked on the assembly line, and I would watch as these bare metal frames would come in one door, a bare metal frame, and out another door, a brand new car.
Right.
And I thought, well, how brilliant is that, And they had their quality control, and so I then thought, because I was a music lover and a writer, that if I started a company, I would use that idea. So if a kid can come in one door, an unknown, and out another door, a star. And through those processes, they would do all these different things, teach them how to sing, dance, and so forth.
You ought to tell your own story. But was there something about the Berry Gordy story that was wrong, that became part of the myth?
Oh, of course. I mean, that.
What was it that bothered you?
Well, no, it wasn't. Well, it bothered me when people were not there and they wrote about things they had no idea about. Yeah. And because we moved so fast, no one could feel that a black kid from Detroit could do a Motown. That's the first thing. And so you'd have to be in a mafia, gangster, drug dealer, or whatever, the people expected. So in my case, it was just that these people that came in were talented. It's all about people.
Right.
Smokey was talented. Stevie was talented. Martha Vandellas was talented.
Diana was talented.
Diana was more than talented.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
We know what you mean.
No, this is interesting because Diana plays a big role in the musical and a big role in your life. So much so, I was very surprised, Berry, that you wrote this, that you included on the play that the first time you were with Diana, that things did not go according to plan. You even said that you could not perform. I don't know any man who would share that. Why did you decide you wanted to put that in?
Well, I'm a normal person, and I've always wrote about normal people and myself. Yes. And I think that when you think of somebody as a goddess or somebody as the greatest thing, and you're getting ready to have sex with them, something can happen always in your mind.
Yes, yes.
So, and that's what happened. At the last minute, I said, "What if?" And then it was embarrassing from then on out.
But it's not embarrassing now. You and Diana have had a child together. Why did you two ultimately break up? I've always been curious about that.
Well, you have to come see the play.
Oh, really?
It's a play.
Okay.
No, it's there. It was a multitude of things. Things that happen in life. But love overcomes all.
Yes.
And real love overcomes all. And Diana, I must say, was the key to so much that happened at Motown because she was my inspiration.
Yep.
And without her, I don't know that I could have done all the things that I did.
What was the hardest part? I mean, you had all this talent there. What was the hardest thing for you in building what you built?
The hardest single thing, I don't know. There was a lot of
little things, but
a lot of little things. I mean, it's life is.
So it was
life,
a piece of cake for you.
Well, it was a passion. When at 8 years old, I saw my family cry, my mother and father cry, and jump for joy when Joe Louis knocked out Max Schmeling for the heavyweight championship of the world. So and I got a passion at that time that I wanted to do something to make that many people happy.
But it is all about the music, though. It brought black people together and white people together that even today, they say when you go into this theater, it's a very different kind of experience with the audience.
Oh, yes, it was music for all people. Yeah. It was music for all people.
And continues to be.
Yeah,
Thank you. Great to have you here. Motown is in previews on Broadway now. It opens this Sunday.